some would call it being a diva. When you're good, it's not bragging. And elite wide receivers and the confidence they exude often permeates an entire team, and we're going to see a couple of examples of that in this one. We've arrived along Orange Blossom Trail at Camping World Stadium here in beautiful Orlando, Florida, as we'll see a playoff team from last year, the Miami Hurricanes, taking on last year's national champion, the Ohio State Buckeyes. For EA Sports, I'm Reese Davis, Jesse Palmer, and David Pollack with me. Guys, the Buckeyes will get this season underway as toe meets leather. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Off the play fake on first down. With the catch, it's Breeze. And he's able to shed one tackle and pick up pretty good yardage. Guys, let's look big picture Miami. They lose in the semis last year. Any potential for a hangover this season?
I don't think so, and I think they obviously didn't finish last season the way they wanted to, but having the success they had, David, that opened the eyes to a lot of portal players around the country. They wanted to come here knowing they could build on that and take the next step.
Turning it on! They'll get him down, but not before he crosses the 50. He's down to the 49.
Get the big-time receiver involved early in the game. That's a huge key for this offense, no matter who they're playing against. But you can see, with his size, with his ability after the catch, this guy is a weapon, and he's putting this defense on alert early.
Just nosing into enemy territory at the 49. It's 1st and 10. Using his legs to buy some time. And this will be incomplete. A big hit there forces 2nd down.
Sometimes it takes quarterbacks a few plays to really get into the rhythm of the game and not force things. I think the quarterback that time was really trying to force the ball to his wide receiver, but against man coverage, there were other guys on that play that were open that could have had a chance. So this quarterback just needs to settle down a little bit. He won't be throwing as many incompletions if he just lets the coverage tell him where to go.
And that's just a timing route. And if I'm a quarterback, then they're going to sit back in zone. When I run those crossers, man, I just wait for that zone window to open up, anticipate it a little bit, chunk that thing, and let my receiver do the rest of the work.
From the gun, the running back has it. That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball.
And that's why he is an All-American caliber player. He is just so physical and dominant against the run. He's able to shed blockers, use his athleticism, use his speed, get to the ball carrier and bring him down. Simply one of the best box defenders you're going to find in the entire country.
Looking downfield, it's Ware. Shoots it to the left. He is lucky to get that one back, and the last thing you want is to turn it over on your opening drive. You can really set the tone for what's possible in your season in early season showdowns like this, both in the top 10 and both with the loftiest of goals.
This one's fun too, David, because we had this game circled in the offseason. We knew this was going to be a really good matchup early, and we're going to find out the answers to a lot of questions we have about both these teams.
Well, and sometimes it's hard to figure that out, right? Like, you don't get till mid-season, you're like, oh, they haven't played anybody. Out the gates, 2 top 10 teams, we get to find out really quickly who's legit.
And so on their opening drive of the game, they want to stay on the field, and the offense will go for it on 4th down. Oh, he dropped it, just didn't look it all the way in, and they'll turn it over on downs. A bold decision to go for it on 4th down, and one that did not pay off. Here's the handoff. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
And man, it's nice to have a guy that is just better than your guys. And no matter what play you call, man, how about him getting in the backfield quick, penetrating, using his quickness, and using his strength to get him to the ground. That is a ball.
They got nothing on the last play. It's 2nd and 10. Back to pass. Snagged out of the air. They'll get him down at the 48 after the 15-yard gain.
Yeah, when you run those drag routes, it just takes a little bit of know-how. And when I say that, the receiver's got to understand, find space. My quarterback's going to find me. He's looking for that space at the same time. Nice throw, nice catch. Way to get the first down.
Here they come, 1st and 10 from the 48. One back in the backfield, and they'll give it to him. Pass the sticks and still on his feet. Speeding down the left side. Touchdown, Buckeyes! He got a step and just dusted the field. They strike first, and that opening drive of the season could not have gone better. And he's got the extra point, and it's 7-0 to start this one.
And to have a rushing touchdown of that type of yardage, you've got to be able to make something miss. It's one thing to get into the second level, but can you make that last defender miss? And you saw it on that play. Once he was in the clear with his speed, he was gone.
Looking to gather a little more strength. That last drive was promising at times, but stalled out, and they turned it over on downs, Jesse.
I think they got to do a better job here, just being better early in the downs. On 1st down, finding positive plays.
And it's frustrating when you move the football and get stopped on the other side of the field and get no points. But they've had some success, and I like the aggressiveness. They just got to cash some of these drives in.
Quickly to the tight end. Finds his way up just short of the 40 to the 39-yard line before he goes out of bounds.
Nice job decision-making by the quarterback there in the RPO, not handing it off, knowing he had to throw it, but then also understanding his open guy was going to be in the right flat.
Let's take a minute and talk about Miami. We mentioned the number of players they lost, but you can only focus on the guys who are wearing your uniform. Can't worry about those who left, have to worry about those you have. But any concerns that you guys have about making moves like this?
I think excitement more than concerns, honestly. They got some key guys that had success in other programs, and I think the fans today, David, are interested to see how these guys play today.
Well, and how they come together, because you've seen these players in other spots, but now a new system, new coaches. How do you gel? How do you start your career off?
3rd and short from the 44, and we might know if they plan to go for it on 4th down by what they call here. Back to throw, it's Ware. Oh, they really could have used that catch there. Physical pass defense. It brings up a 4th down.
This is a point where you just got to be able to focus. The critical down and distances in this game, like that 3rd down right there. When it's a good throw, you got to make the catch. You've got to be able to make that play.
Still on their side of the field, no problem. Going for it, 4th and short from the 44. Got the first down and still on his feet. And he gets a big chunk of yardage to the 34-yard line.
And your decision to go for it on 4th down has a lot to do with your kicker. How strong is his leg? Some of these guys nowadays, they can boot the ball 50, 60 yards, no problem. Do I believe in him or do I go for it? And they believed in their offense, they went for it, and they got the first down.
And the Canes are moving quickly down the field. Off the play fake on 1st down to throw. Makes the catch. It's Breeze. Bulldozes his way through. Touchdown, Miami! Made the grab and took it on in for the score. The extra point here would tie the game. When that receiver got free, it was all over.
And it's so nice to have a receiver like this as a quarterback because you had my stats. I like those long touchdown passes where I just threw it really short and he did the rest of the work.
And he's not going to take the touchback. Tackled at the 24 and almost breaks even with the yardage you would have gotten with a touchback. The Buckeyes roll that offense back out there. Took the last drive in for a touchdown. They'll try to do it again on this one. Creates a little space. They get him stopped after a gain of 4 out to the 28.
Well, this is a running back that gets stronger as the game goes on, and they try to get him going early on the toss play race.
And if we start stretching the defense sideways, sometimes a little vulnerable in the middle later in the game.
Yeah, that might open an opportunity for a play action. Maybe fake the toss and see if you can get a tight end or a slot receiver down the middle of the field.
Solid pickup of 4 on first down at 2nd and 6. To the air, it's Lucas. He slings it deep to the left. Makes a grab deep. And they exploited that soft spot, and they get it down to the 35.
Well, really nice catch there getting the first down. This dude at wide receiver, man, he is a playmaker. Think about Ohio State and the recent run they've had on first-round picks at the position. Michael Thomas, Jackson Smith-Njigba, Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave. This guy keeps making plays like that. He's got an opportunity to go in the first round.
Wants to go up top on first down. That's reeled in. It's Adkins. Dragged down, but they'll move the sticks for a first down.
And that's why through the offensive coordinator, you've got to find as many ways as possible to get this guy going. Just get him the ball close to the line of scrimmage. Doesn't need to be a throw deep down the field. He's so dynamic when he has the ball in his hands. You saw it right there.
And the Buckeyes will line it up on 1st and 10. Try to get it to the edge. He's wrestled to the ground right at the 15-yard line, and a big red zone opportunity here.
It's always fun to watch offensive creativity in the red zone. Like, how are you going to get some space for your guy? They try the toss, get him out wide, maybe get him some space. The defense was ready. Nice job falling forward, getting at least a little bit on the play.
After picking up a couple at 2nd and 8. Wants to go up top. Punts it out of the air. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
And listen, I'm going to move this guy everywhere. He was in the slot this time, but I'm not going to let the defense understand where he's lining up so they can double team him, put him in the slot, put him out wide. Either way, find this guy early and often.
It'll be 3rd and long. Trying play action. Unloads to the wideout. Trying to find the end zone. Couldn't quite nudge it in. Not sure you can get much closer, but it'll be 1st and goal. Ready up. While we're only through one, these quarterbacks have been lighting up their stat lines. They fought to a standstill in the first. Let's see who gets the edge early in the second. Starting off this quarter close enough to smell the goal line. Just going to keep it after the snap. And this was just a low man wins battle right on the doorstep of the goal line, and the defense comes up with it. And he's loose
picking a team unless I got a guy that can do something like this in the quarterback spot. I need an athlete. I need a little bit of mobility. Just dictates too much to the defense. QB runs in for 6.
And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. And here comes that Miami offense back onto the field. They find themselves trailing by a touchdown and a chance on this drive to even the score. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
And this offense on first down, man, they go backwards. And they built a deficit, and they've been sluggish. And they just need something to get going, to get started, because they've kind of looked out of sorts and out of rhythm this whole game.
Got stuffed on first down. It's 2nd and 10. Wide receiver going in motion. Off the play fake. Throws to the wideout. Got his man to the left. Gets it to the 46-yard line. First down for this offense. You get a guy who can do that on the outside, and it's sort of in the DNA of Miami's program.
Yeah, just speed. Those are guys that put fear in you. Those are the track stars. The Sunshine State produces so many of them. Those guys can absolutely fly.
Tackle is made at the 44, but he picked up 10 yards and enough for a first down.
It's going to be tough on this defense containing this guy because he's got that sixth sense to get outside the pocket, and at that point, he's throwing it and hurting you, or you can take off and run. That time able to get the first down. Big challenge for the defense moving forward.
Trying to get the edge with a quick touch pass. And he finds some solid space, makes a nice game before the defense is able to stop him.
And the defense, you hold your breath. When this receiver has the football out in space, you have got to make sure you're playing with outstanding pursuit. Nice job there, but as this game goes on, they've got to keep an eye on this guy and make sure they know where he is at all times.
Looking to fire. Floating away. And he just chucks it into the 4th row.
Good decision by the QB. You're outside the pocket. You're trying to find an open target. No one's open. Throw it away and live to play another day.
And the Hurricanes come to the line on 3rd and short, trying to convert here. Wide receiver comes in motion. To the ground to try to pick up the first. They tried to go smash mouth on 3rd and short, and it did not work against this defense.
Well, they're trying to get that run play going to the outside, but it's the defensive end who does a great job winning his one-on-one and forcing the negative play.
And the Canes will try to pick it up on 4th down. Now on the move. All down, but he has enough to move the chains.
And in these situations, you're never looked at poorly, right? You can go for these situations because it's a really long field goal, so it's not a guaranteed make, or I can be aggressive offensively, and I like the choice. Be aggressive, get the first down. Nice job by the offense.
The Canes kept this drive moving on the ground, now back to work. Give to the back. And he'll pick up 1. It brings up 2nd and 9.
And you want to run the football. That's okay. You'll take some of these. But if they start to add up down the road, obviously, you might want to think about airing it out a little bit.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Quick release on the RPO. They make the stop, but this passing game does some damage, and they move the sticks with the first down.
This slot receiver gives defensive coordinators nightmares. You have got to double him virtually on every pass play. He better have safety help over top. Otherwise, this guy's a threat to score every time they throw the ball.
Grabbed behind the line, it's Breeze. And he'll make his way out of bounds after the solid pickup.
I like the decision by the quarterback here. Just get the ball out of your hands. Get it to your playmaker. A lot of times he'll dance and make even bigger plays than he did here, but it was still a positive game.
They'll move the tight end. To the air, it's Ware. Pressure coming. Makes the grab. They will score. Touchdown, Hurricane. A methodical drive that they finish off by tossing it to the tight end.
And the tight end, I'll tell you what, this is a position that's evolved so much, right? And you see him move all over the field. It's kind of like, where is Waldo? You got to find this big fella, especially down in the red zone area. This is the guy they're going to target. They make the big play, get the touchdown.
And he's going to bring this one out. He's got great speed. He's got an alley. And there he goes. They won't get him. It's a touchdown. No guts, no glory. Caught it in the end zone. Didn't hesitate for a millisecond to take that thing back. And boy, did it pay off.
And this is why kickoff returns are so exciting. There's so much space between you and the other team flying down the field. The only time you're going to be provided that much space, and you could tell he knew what to do with that space. Kicked on the Jets by Felicia.
He'll start the return inside his 5. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. No reason to be in a big rush. They have some time here late in the half. Leaves it with the back. Makes it past the marker. They stay aggressive and push their way out to the 33, and it's first down. We're at the 2-minute timeout. It's been a good one so far. Opportunity for this offense perhaps to take the lead before halftime. With the first down, they'll put it in play from the 33. They're going to ride this running back. Hard running there.
You want to make play calling easy for an offensive coordinator? Run the ball like that every play. I mean, when you can run that on first down and set up a short yardage on second down, it makes play calling easy. Every single call on that sheet is available here on second down.
Toss to the outside. Fighting off the defender. And he's to the 48-yard line. That'll be good enough for a first down.
Trying to get the ball to your running back in space, and a really good job tossing it on the perimeter. What do you need? You need to set the edge. You got to do a good job with your offensive line, and then you need perimeter blocking out wide to hold their own. Do a good job, hold their own. Nice positive game, nice positive toss play.
Now they're going to throw it. Just gets rid of it to the running back underneath. Gets it all the way down to the 39-yard line. It'll be a first down.
You know, and that's why this guy can play first, second, and third down. You've already seen him earlier in the drive rip off some nice runs, but he can catch the football as well. And they're going to find ways to get him going in all sorts of ways, but you're seeing it specifically on this drive.
The inside handoff. And a nice solid pickup there before the defense wrestles him to the ground.
And those body blows really, really matter. Like, I want to be able to hand the ball off to my running back 10, 15 times a game. Make the defense tackle him, wear him out. Sometimes these 3 to 4 yard runs, later in football games, they turn into 5 to 15 to 20-yard gains just because of the body blow effect.
Great team defense on that run play. Everybody doing their job. People winning their one-on-ones, D linemen staying in their gaps, linebackers and DBs He's filling. He just can't do it better.
Offense in an empty set. This is a designed run. He'll be stopped about 2 yards short of a first down. This is makeable field goal range here, but it looks as if they'll go for it on fourth down. On fourth down, they'll throw for it. He wants to go deep. Drop the football, and they'll turn it over on downs. And that decision will be questioned for a while. This late in the half, here's the question. How aggressive will the play calling be? Back to pass, it's Lucas. Throws to the tight end. Got his man downfield. A huge play, and they get it all the way to the 45-yard line. The offense will have to use its first timeout of the half. Running out of time here in the first half, they're going to have to be efficient to put some points on the board before the break. Wants to adjust the pattern. Looking to throw on first down. He'll take the deep shot. He's got it down the left side. We've got a timeout in the waning seconds of the half. Maybe a chance to get off a couple more plays. The Buckeyes have it with a first and goal. Big guy smells it. Touchdown, Buckeyes! And they add 6 more to the board with that trip to the house.
And they trust their QB to execute like they have the whole first half, and he delivers, and they build on this lead and build their momentum going into halftime.
Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And he splits the uprights on the extra point. Quick strike offense on that 3-play scoring drive. And the score comes on a 5-yard touchdown pass. Here he comes from inside his own 5. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. One more play before the teams head to the locker rooms. They go to the end around to start the drive. That'll get them thinking. And he'll just get back to the line of scrimmage, and we have run out of time in the second quarter. First half in the books. Time now to join Kevin Connors in our halftime update. The Hurricanes will kick it off to start the second half. Oh, look at Mr. Hands taking the squibber inside the 30. Gets it all the way out to the 33 before he stops. Okay, here comes the Ohio State offense onto the field. This offense has really been clicking in the game so far, Jesse.
No doubt. Everything they're playing.
He's going to let it go. Oh, he dropped it. That deep ball was right on the money. You just have to make that catch.
Oof. That's one of those plays where you're going, man, he probably could have made that. The defense wasn't great on the play, but guess what? It goes down as an incompletion. Those are one of those bullets that you've got to dodge throughout a game to get the win, to limit those big plays.
up now. Here's 2nd and long. The give to the tailback. Got the first down and more. They'll get him down at the 48 after the 15-yard gain.
Man, coaches talked about they want to get this running back involved early and often and create some momentum, and this is a great way to do it. Early in this football game, ripping off an explosive run, get the juices going, and I bet you he's going to get a few more touches today.
They'll give it to him again. Oh, he's got some space. He's run out of bounds at the 23 after the big gainer. With that, he's got 101 yards on the ground, and that will put him over 100, and what a way to start the season. A little wrinkle here as they go to the Wildcat and use the extra blocker. Direct snap. It's Adkins. Finding open areas. And he rolls into the house. Touchdown, Ohio State.
Another rushing touchdown. That's now 2 on the game. This offense thought they could come into this one running the ball, being the more physical team, and they look like it right now.
We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
All right, guys, got a final score on one of the more intriguing games this week. Tennessee left little doubt. You know, this version of the Volunteers can hang with any of the teams of the past. And remember, this is a program that went 13-0 en route to a national title back in 1998. All that speculation all week, and now we know. But something tells me, fellas, we haven't heard the last of either of these teams.
Kevin, thanks a lot for that one. Sounds as if they had a good one there. Just into the end zone, and he'll bring it out. And the coverage team gets the returner on the ground. Here comes the Hurricane offense looking to gather a little more strength. They're looking at a 21-point hole. There's still time to do some work, but there's also no time to waste. Finds his way ahead for 3 out to the 16.
It's definitely too early to panic, but there's some bad feelings going on for this offense right now. You're way down on the scoreboard. I know we're still in the first half, but after that last play, it's pretty obvious. You can't run the ball. You're becoming a one-dimensional offense at a time when you need to be able to score some points. So either get it done through the air or you've got to be more physical up front.
They'll try to power their way ahead. And the defense knew exactly where that first down line was, and they stopped him short. This offense is completely confident in their ability to get 1 yard. They'll go for it on 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. He's got it, 1st down and more. Out across the 30 and out of bounds at the 33, and that's what you're looking for when you're backed up in your own territory. Wants to throw on 1st down off the play fake. Looking to the big tight end. It's caught. Major gaps in that defense, and he got loose, and they finally knock him down at the 41.
That's what's so scary about this offense. They've got guys in the perimeter that can change the game in one single play, and you saw it right there. Too much speed on the perimeter to create that explosive play.
Got it behind the line. It's Breeze. They'll rip off 8 on that play. It's 2nd and 2. And the Canes will hustle to the line. Looking for a man. It's Ware. Here's a heat. And the quarterback runs out of time, and down he goes at the 38. If every journey begins with a step, this offense needs to step into a 3rd down conversion and then try to turn it into some scores, and fast. Off the RPO, complete. Touchdown, Canes! And once he got away from the D, they had no shot at catching him.
Man, this guy is an elite tight end. This guy is a dude. He keeps making plays like this. We're going to start comparing him to Brock Bowers and Kyle Pitts. The run after the catch, the big body, the athletic ability. He has it all.
Now to make sure this kickoff team covers properly to pay off that last scoring drive. Oh, look at Mr. Hands taking the squibber inside the 30. Gets it all the way out to the 33 before he stops.
First and 10.
Here comes the Ohio State offense onto the field. They stuck the last drive in the end zone. They'll try to follow suit here. Stuffed almost in his tracks, but strong enough to pick up one to the 35.
That's a fantastic play by the linebacker. He has such tremendous instincts. As soon as he sees run, he's coming downhill. He's got great speed. He gets you on the ground. That's why he's one of the best linebackers in the entire country.
Picked up 2 yards on that last one. They need 8 on second down. Back to pass. Buys a little time. Fires downfield. He just missed the target on that one. Got him, put it on his body.
Well, the good news is he did a nice job reading the coverage. He knew exactly where to go with the football that time. Just a little bit too much on that pass. You wonder if that's just nerves. He's got to settle himself down a little bit.
They've got to come up with a big play on this 3rd and long. Dropping back, it's Lucas. Makes the grab on the left. Breaks into the open. He's got enough to move the chains, and they'll spot it at the 47.
The defense has got to be able to make a play at some point here in the second half. You're down 2 possessions. You need to steal a possession badly. You need to have a takeaway. The coverage is going to have to be way tighter than on that last throw. Otherwise, this offense is just going to go up and down the field.
Out of the gun, the inside handoff to the running back.
And what's the closest guy to the football, man? It's those defensive tackles, and those guards and centers have to work together. They got to get those guys and get some movement. They don't on this play, and the big fella eats. Nowhere to go. When you run into him, you usually meet the ground.
The offense will have to use its first timeout of the half.
Timeout, Ohio State.
Behind the chains now on 2nd and long. Now they'll run it on the toss. At the 35, he's got room. And how much running room have they been able to find on the ground? Man, are they piling up some gaudy rushing stats.
This shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. If you've got the lead in the 3rd quarter and you want to keep it, you got to bleed the clock. Best way to do that, run the football. And you're now seeing this offense call these run plays back to back. They are trying to be physical and they're trying to stay on the field. And there's really no secret to it, David. When this guy's running well, this offense is so hard to stop.
It opens up everything, and he's having a great day, showing you a little bit of everything, and this offense has got it rolling on the ground.
The Buckeyes trying to get a touchdown on 1st and goal. Quarterback may change this route. A 1st down run on the doorstep. Back's going for the goal line. And he waltzes in for the score. Touchdown, Buckeyes! Precision blocking up front. Created the open lane, and the running back followed it beautifully.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to follow an offensive line that makes those holes and just gives you a caravan all the way to the end zone. What an unbelievable job blocking up front.
And they did tack on the extra point. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. No reason to risk trying to field that one as it skips through the end zone. It'll be a touchback. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. Use the play fake, now to throw. It's picked off. The Heisman contender turns it over. Taking it the other way. And he is taking it all the way back. Touchdown, Ohio State. What a play by this defense with the pick six.
And how about the defender? Exactly what you're supposed to. Breaks on the football, makes the interception. Everybody on defense, we turn to offense. Go lay some blocks so my guy can get it and take it back to the house.
And the point after is good. The offense calls timeout. It's the second one they've used this half. Kickoff unit getting some extra work as this lead has really grown. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. Makes a move. Just a tremendous return. Great run, great speed and vision to really set up this offense. He almost got totally loose on that one. Good field position to start this drive at their own 47. Back to pass, it's Ware. Oh, they're after him. Stands in and takes the hit. And that one's too high and too wide, out of bounds and incomplete.
I love that play call by the offensive coordinator. Your quarterback just threw a pick six. You want to pick him right back up, right? So don't handcuff him. On the very first play of the next drive, let him throw the football to try to reestablish a rhythm and reestablish some confidence. Obviously, that one falls incomplete, but they need to get this guy back into a rhythm. The only way you do that is by throwing the ball.
Working that left side. Ball down at the 38-yard line and a big pickup of 15 yards there.
I know the offense is down by a lot here in the second half. You just need one big play, though.
There he goes. All the way down to the 25-yard line. They move the sticks. It's first down. And the Hurricanes racing to the line in the hurry-up.
That's a huge throw for the offense, but they're down by a ton. They're going to need a lot more of that, and it's not going to be easy considering the defense knows they're probably going to be throwing the ball every play here in the second half moving forward.
A nice job being gap sound by this defense. And here you go. Watch what this offense does. They'll get right back on the ball, and they'll go really quick, so you got to be prepared.
Second down, they'll go to the air. Fires to the wideout. Intercepted. Guess even a Heisman Trophy contender can have a miscue.
Coming out of the tunnel in the third quarter, this quarterback now is really struggling with his decision-making. 2 picks here in the third quarter. This looks like Jekyll and Hyde from what we saw in the first half.
Well, and the bad thing is they're going to be in passing situations. They're coming from behind. They're going to need him to play better. Like, he's going to have to read the field better and make some plays if they want to get back in this football game.
Let's see what they can get going on this drive as they snap it from the 7. They'll try the left side. This time stopped behind the line of scrimmage, and they're probably saying, finally, what a night he's had. Well, guys, Ohio State has the lead here. And this beatdown is close to completion as we've reached the end of 3. Let's take a look at how we got here. Chance to mull things over, and let's see how they start the final period here on second down. To the ground with the back. And they swarm him under.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if the offense was going to be able to dig themselves out of this hole, but on second in California, they dial up the running play, now setting up third and short.
keep this drive alive on third down. Finds a little space. He's loose on the right. Pass to 50. Pass to 30. Inside the 10. Slippery slide. Find his way and ran away from the crowd into the end zone. Touchdown, Buckeyes.
Pure domination all game long for this offense. Whether they've been running the football, whether they've been throwing the football, critical down and distances, situationally all up and down the field. This defense has had no answer for these guys. What an impressive performance by the O.
They'll try to add another to their lead. And they did tack on the extra point, by the way, knocked it right down the middle. Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
Boys, expect the unexpected in college football, and for some, this update could fall under that category. Wyoming handled its business today away from home. What a thorough beatdown. And what poise this generally young team showed. I think even other coaches will point to this one as what's possible. Regardless the outcome today, guys, these are still two quality programs. Proof the sport is as healthy as ever.
Yeah, how about that? Sounds as if they had a good ball game there. Kevin, thanks for the update. Here comes that Miami offense back onto the field. There's a lot of pressure when you have that number one beside your name, and perhaps it was the pressure, perhaps it was just one of those days, but that rain is coming. He's going to fire deep. It looked like a catch, but they'll say he was out of bounds.
This was my favorite time to be a defensive lineman, man. You get up big, late in the game, you know it's past. You're just teeing off on the quarterback. The defensive backs, they're bailing, playing those deep passes. It is hard to play offensive football in this situation.
So now it's second and long. Off play action. Going back to the well, another deep ball. And he throws another interception, his third one of the night. And they'll drag him down after a good return on the interception.
It's all about making plays, and this guy's been waiting to make his mark on this team. He gets his first interception of the season, and what a momentum-changing play for his team.
The Buckeyes roll that offense back out there. This has been exactly the way you draw things up, David. The offense has really been moving the football.
And it's been great execution. They've done
it's a running move. And he got away from the defense and takes it in. Touchdown, Ohio State.
And everybody's getting in on the fun now for this offense. From the opening whistle, they have been up and down the field. Starters are scoring. You've got backups in the game now. And I love the play calling. These guys came to your school to play in this offense to score touchdowns, so let them go do it. Make this defense prove they can stop.
And he knocks the extra point through the uprights. Now to make sure this kickoff team covers it well to not give back that last score. And as the ball makes its way into the end zone, it'll be a touchback. They'll bring it out to the 25. Here comes the Hurricane offense looking to gather a little more strength. This was certainly not their best effort. I believe this team is much better than it performed today, but it's picked off. Don't see that very often from this Heisman Trophy candidate. Good gain on the return, and this defense has set them up with a big play.
Man, what a great break on the football. Nice job seeing it, squeezing. A lot of those defensive guys, man, they don't have great hands all the time, but you always remember your first interception. They'll always remember this moment.
Back to throw, it's Lucas. He's got it on the run. Gets out of bounds after the big play, and they'll be set up in business for the first and goal. They showed great trust in their quarterback right there, and why not? He's had an outstanding game.
An outstanding game, has taken care of the football. Now, late in the game, you got the lead. That first down now tells me now it's time to start running the football, run the clock, get out of here with the dub.
And he'll finish the run in the end zone. Touchdown, Buckeyes!
And it hasn't mattered what they've called, guys, offensively all game long, or who's been on the field, what personnel groupings there have been. They're simply executing at a higher level than this defense, and they're keeping their foot on the pedal here in the fourth quarter.
And he makes the extra point. Kickoff unit back to work, and they have been busy as they've built this sizable lead. He wisely lets that one bounce through the back of the end zone, and they'll take over at the 25. And here comes that Miami offense back onto the field. We've certainly seen better performances from this group. You have to hope that they'll going over the top. It's picked off. The Heisman contender turns it over. Takes it the other way. He'll be stopped, but not before getting the football and picking up big yardage on the return. What a play there. For better starting field position for this offense. Scanning the field, it's Lucas. Pulls it in, it's Adkins. They finally get to him. What a play there to pick up the first down.
There are a lot of offensive coordinators out there. A similar situation with a lead like this. They'd definitely be running the ball at this point. They'd probably take their starting quarterback out of the game potentially, but not this unit. They are still staying aggressive. They're still taking shots. They're just trying to light up the scoreboard.
Down to the 12-yard line. It's first down. Looking to throw on first down. Into the end zone. And it's a touchdown, but hold on just a second. We'll have to see what the flag's about. So that penalty will wipe away some strong red zone execution and take the score off the board. On first down, here comes this offense. Let's go! Wants to pass. Catch in the middle, it's Thomas. He hauled that one in and got it down to the 15-yard line.
My old coach said you'll never go broke taking a profit. Take what's there, take the positive yards, and never complain.
Plenty of distance between them and the sticks here on second down. Wants to go up top. Bring in the heat. And he was hit just as he released it, and it falls to the turf.
And finally, the defense is able to get some pressure on this quarterback. They've been trying all game long different ways to affect him. Weren't able to get there. But on that play, because of the pressure, it affected his accuracy, and that's why the ball falls in.
Making side adjustments here. On third and long, a check down would be the last resort. It's incomplete, and this ought to be a boost of confidence for this defense, getting a stop against these guys on third down. And they'll send out the kicker to try a field goal. Right down the boulevard, it's good. Well, that's just piling on. Not the penalty kind, just the mean kind. That lead just keeps getting fatter, and this kickoff team doing a little running. On the run from inside his own 5. He only needs a sliver of daylight. Got a little room. He is electric in the return game, and that one has the offense set up nicely. It's a reverse. And a good, solid pickup before the defense cuts him down.
Wide receivers, running backs, you see them. They're interchangeable now. You see each playing different positions and handing the ball to wide receivers like you get here. You know, wide receivers are getting the ball more and more in space, but you're also trying to hand them the football so they can make some plays, get more touches, especially those good guys. Not a great game, but definitely a good job of getting the wide receiver involved in the run game.
And the Canes in the hurry up. To throw, it's Ware. Unloads to the wideout. It's complete. Guided out of bounds at the 22. Good play for this offense as they are threatening to score. The Canes getting set on 1st and 10. These two guys, just on the same wavelength, they make clutch connections all the time.
And that's practice, man. That's all summer. That's all spring. Just so many hundreds and thousands of balls where you know exactly when that guy's going to break. You know he's a stud. You're going to feed him, especially on these third down situations.
Early movement on the offense, and they'll push it back 5 yards. The officials offer the deal, and the coach accepts it. They will take the penalty. Here comes the offense on 2nd down. The play action fake. Looking for space to the left. Snags it. And he'll take it in for the touchdown. It won't have much impact on the outcome of the game, but it is a fabulous parting gift, a consolation prize, if you will.
With that last touchdown now, they're trying to create some momentum. They're trying to avoid starting the season 0-1. They know they've got a lot of work to do here in the second half, but you should be feeling pretty good about that last score. Now you've got to keep that up.
So after getting into the end zone on that last drive, they're set to kick it away. Oh, look at Mr. Hands taking the squibber inside the 30. Okay, here comes the Ohio State offense onto the field. They had this thing in a hammerlock at halftime, and now they are really ratcheting up the pressure, David.
And I tell you what, this offense doesn't have to change a thing, Palmer. They've done what they wanted in the first half and starting off the second half in the same fashion.
And I like how they're letting different guys get involved, too. They've got so many different playmakers all over the field.
Here's the snap, itching to fire downfield. He's got it along the sideline. And that one